Up this magic with the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were?
Coach, from the stadium that hosted Super Bowl 51 back in 2017, we are inside NRG Stadium in Houston. The scene from a few moments ago, this crowd enthusiastically cheering on their Texans as they emerge from the locker room. And we're just about ready for football as the Texans get set to match up with Derek Carr and the Oakland Raiders. Both of these teams about to reach the halfway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Over the middle here to Brown. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
What now? 185.
Carr gives to Rashard. And that's not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Down, 280. 55. Heavy on the edges, heavy on the edges. 29.
Throwing on second and long. Carr got his man complete over the middle. It's Brown. And they'll get him down here at the 23. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down. First 9 seasons in the league for Brown were, of course, in Pittsburgh. Last year, though, growing concerns of his dissatisfaction in his role with the Steelers and the quibbles with Ben Roethlisberger. So he ends up being traded to the Raiders in March. 7-time Pro Bowler, 6 straight years of at least 1,200 yards and 8 touchdowns. Not a bad stretch. What a talent for Derek Carr to have on his side. Now a deep ball going to be caught here near midfield. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there. Yeah,
I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Throwing on first down is Carr. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Brown. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. DeAndre Washington, his first carry. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on second down.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
From the gun now on third down, Carr. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. Last week, somehow they won. He threw all those picks, but they still won. Here, opening drive, unfortunately, he picked up where he left off.
Partner, you get a lot of extra patience when you find a way to win despite you making mistakes. But starting out again this game, that patience is going to wear thin really quick. And I think the guys on the defensive side of the ball will be the first ones to let him know that's got to stop.
Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And he's got this down to the 35. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. 2 plays, 2 catches. You have a feeling they're going to look for him early and often, and that's to be expected. You got a player of his caliber, why not?
And I think it's also a message from them to the defense that you're not going to dictate to us what we're going to do with one of our better players, because so often you hear about defenses saying we're going to take away what you do best. In this case, they're going to move him around, find proper matchups, and make sure they continue to funnel the ball to him.
He got 29 yards that time. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Here's Johnson. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Duke Johnson, his first touchdown on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now the first-round pick from Alabama, Josh Jacobs. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. 24th pick in the spring by Oakland was Josh Jacobs. Only rushed for 640 yards last year at Alabama, but when you consider the offensive depth chart they had, it makes it understandable. So young, won't turn 22 until February, and they're really hoping that the veteran presence of 30-year-old Doug Martin can be a guiding light for Jacobs. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Darren Waller, the intended receiver, and it's 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. This is Richard. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. A gain of 13, it's a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Here's Jacobs. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the 27-yard line.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Raiders with the football here to begin quarter number 2 as they are looking at a 2nd down and 6 coming up. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Carr going to throw. That's complete to Richard, the running back. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he'll take this down for about 4 yards down to the 15.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Here we go. What's up? Mike 55. You're mine. I got you. Hey, Charlie. Right there in the middle. 55. All day.
Now Carr. Over the middle, he's got Tyrell Williams. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
One down. 185. 55.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Jalen Richard, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as they are now on the board here in the 1st half. Extra point up and good by Catanzaro. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
The Texans take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Here's a carry for a former starter. This is Lamar Miller. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
Hard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Back to throw, Watson. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. He's got a 1st down and then some inside the 40. And he takes it all the way down to the 22. 33 yards that time.
Tell you what, partner, you get the football in his hands, just give him a little bit of open space. As we just saw, he can make you pay.
And he wasn't the top option there, but check down turned into first down and then some. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Oh, batted at the line and intercepted. Picked off at the 23, and they will take over at the 26-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. From the 27, Carr. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7.
I know you feel that.
Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now arguably the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this first down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8. Justin Reed, the safety, made the tackle.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
From just shy of midfield, Carr. Man open left side, it's Williams. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. Like Antonio Brown, Tyrell Williams came to the Raiders in March. Came up the coast from L.A., where he caught 41 balls last year with the Chargers. His best year was 2016 when the Chargers were still in San Diego. Over 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns, and the Raiders really have high hopes for this 27-year-old receiver. To throw, it's Carr. He'll find his running back here, Richard. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. 3rd down turns to 1st with that 5-yard pickup. Carr now 9 of 11 passing in this first half. He's got his guys at 1st and 10. Running is Jacobs. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Check right 39. Go, go, go. Hey, check right 39. Hey, Orbit. Check back, check back. Hey, check right 31. Check right 39. Man.
Throwing on 2nd down. Carr. Throw right side, going to be caught by Waller. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Carr will come up here with a 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. Darren Waller, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Carr. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the 2nd down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the 2nd quarter. The Raiders on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. On the ground, Richard. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Catanzaro's kick is good. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Now, a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. It was the free safety. Third and long, it's Watson. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
So the face mask puts them in even better shape than they were in as